everyone, my name is Claire and my speech is over how to get along with your roommates. How many of you have ever had a disagreement with a roommate? Living with someone else sounds simple until you're actually doing it. Suddenly you realize not everyone washes their dishes right after eating. Sharing a space with someone, especially someone who isn't a family member, can be a huge adjustment. But here's the thing, when done right, having a roommate can actually become one of the best parts of the college or young adult experience. Roommates can turn into close friends, study partners, or at the very least, someone who makes you laugh after a long day. So how do we go from awkward silence and passive-aggressive sticky notes to a peaceful, respectful, and even fun living situation? Well, after living with 5 different roommates in just my first year of college, I learned a few things the hard way, and I can tell you that getting along with roommates comes down to 3 essential things: communication, setting healthy boundaries, and mutual respect. So let's start with communication. Communication is really the foundation of every successful roommate relationship. Think about it. When you first move in with someone, you're not just sharing a room or an apartment. You're sharing routines, habits, pet peeves, and expectations. And if you don't talk about these things, tension builds up really fast. One of the best things you can do early on is have a roommate talk. Set aside some time and go over the basics. A 2014 study published on ResearchGate emphasized that active listening and compromise are key. That means really listening to your roommate, not just hearing them, but understanding their point of view. Maybe they need the room quiet by 10 p.m. for early classes, or maybe they need alone time for after a long day. Either way, communication helps you find common ground. Another powerful tool is the I statements. According to My Melon Wellness, saying I feel frustrated when I have to do all the dishes sounds a lot better than you never clean up. It focuses on your feelings instead of sounding like an attack. Trust me, tone matters. Once you've opened up about the communication, the next step is setting boundaries. This is where many roommate relationships either succeed or start to fall apart. Everyone has different comfort zones. For some, sharing food is no big deal. Others are like, touch my Oreos and I'll file a complaint. This is where setting boundaries comes in. Talk about things like what's okay to share and what's not. Cleaning responsibilities, personal space and quiet hours, how to handle guests or overnight visitors. Psychology Today notes that having clear house rules, whether they're written down or just clearly agreed upon, brings structure and reduces stress. Also, boundaries aren't a one and done kind of deal. Life changes and schedules shifts can happen. That's why boundaries should be revisited and adjusted regularly. Check in with each other every few weeks. A 5-minute conversation can prevent a lot of resentment later. Now let's talk about mutual respect. Respect is what makes everything else work. You can communicate and set boundaries all day long, but if there's no respect, it all falls apart. Respect can be as simple as knocking before entering your roommate's room or not using their things without asking. It can be remembering that they had a rough day and giving them space. Psychology Today also notes that giving each other time and space helps avoid passive-aggressive behavior and keeps the relationship healthy. It's not just about avoiding fights, it's about creating an atmosphere where both of you feel comfortable. Even the small stuff matters, like saying thank you when they take out the trash or asking before inviting friends over. According to the same ResearchGate study, roommates who respect each other despite their differences end up with smoother living experiences both in college and in life. So to wrap this all up, getting along with roommates comes down to 3 essential habits: communicating clearly and honestly, setting and revisiting boundaries, and above all, treat others with respect, even when you're tired, annoyed, or stressed out. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about surviving your living arrangements. It's about creating a space where both of you feel safe, heard, and at home. Thanks for listening, and may all your roommate experiences be drama-free.